So as we look to how we can finance this, we look at item 5 on that list that I handed out to you. Here's some grants. And it comes up really now again because we were successful in getting some funding for phase 2. So we got $75,000 of REAP funds to go towards phase 2, which is this $528,000 project. So of course very happy to receive a lot of those funds, but it doesn't go very far towards the project yet. As soon as we're done with this discussion, I'll ask you to approve applications to the state rec trails and the federal rec trails where they do fund a good portion of the project. State would be 75%, federal rec trails could fund 80%. And if we would be fortunate enough to get one of those, we could pretty much get the project taken care of. Where it says city at $30,000, city had committed $30,000 to phase 1, and we've not used it. So we've carried that over as match for phase 2 then also. And C talks about the regional enhancements, and that's a local thing within the Region 12 area. And that's where we had received this initial $110,000 for the first phase. And those applications are due this fall again. So we'll have a chance to, we will score pretty well in that regional enhancement. One I wanted to talk with you a little bit about are F and G. These they call it CAT or RECAT. CAT is the Community Attractions and Tourism ones. It's part of the larger Vision Iowa grant program. RECAT is same one, Community Attractions and Tourism, but the RE is rivers and lakes, specifically devoted to rivers and lakes. And Steve Kettering had something to do with getting this in place. He was very supportive of this and wanted to make sure that lakes were included in it also. So that can fund 30% of the project, but if we were to submit a RECAT application, they would want us to submit an application for all of the remaining phases. This is intended to fund large projects. Just don't know where we come up with the other 70% of the money, right? Exactly. Other than, again, to think about H, private fundraising and capital campaign. We have not done any private fundraising for this thing really at all. And, at some point we do need to think about that and how we would proceed with a little bit of private fundraising or a lot of private fundraising through some sort of a capital campaign. But my real question to you is number 6. How do we want to re-energize this project, get a lot of people more excited about it again, get a lot of people potentially involved with it. So, how do you see this project still coming together so it can be successful and not wait another 3 or 4 or 5 years before we do the next phase? Is the thing council driven? You want to be the drivers behind it? Or would you like to see this be more volunteer driven, where we get a lot of folks from the community in it? It can be so basic as to say, are we still like the original design, or would we look at other things?
I think the best bet would be probably get community involvement, but also get like men's club, your organizations behind it too.
No.
I don't know about the community club, are they behind? They're behind it, aren't they?
No, I don't know if they've ever really.
I never talked much
But
about
I've been at a meeting where we actually sat down and talked about it.
it.
I can't see anybody being against it.
No, I can't.
I don't know.
Scott, if we put like city money into this, would there be like user fees to get some of that recap back?
We actually, for one of these grants that we've never been successful for, we actually told them, I think, that there would be a $2 user fee for the trail.
That didn't work real well on the trail down here, though, did it? So I thought that was a joke.
Voluntary, essentially it's voluntary.
Yeah, I mean,
But there's quite a few people who choose to pay it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is, but I don't know how many people choose to pay it.
I don't think it paid off anything to what they thought it would.
But there might be more interest now that they've got from the trails.
Well, yeah, you're all the way down.
There ought to be some local bikers, I would think, that would want to be.
Right.
I think it'd be better if we had those as the driving force, not the council.
Yeah.
But to get them to do it's another thing.
That's a challenge.
Yes.
Well, if they really want it, though, they'll get behind it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it will
Otherwise it
die.
won't.
Well, I don't wanna see it die, though.
Oh, absolutely not. You know, we'll continue to apply for these large grants and at least continue to work on it phase by phase, but time to re-energize, I think, a volunteer group and see what they're willing to do. And it may be that the volunteer group that we would organize is more of a biking enthusiast group, not build a trail group.
Because I think there's plenty of them.
Yeah,
Can we bring this up during that community thing?
sure. That's part of the reason why I wanted to get this out there again and discuss this was have this community meeting coming up. You know, we have the opportunity to ask people for some more community involvement, and it's a good opportunity to do that. So I'm sure we'll discuss it a little bit.
So what you're asking us is, are we still behind it?
I'm asking you kind of two things. Council really still behind this, and we want to keep pushing it, and who from the council wants to be out there in the lead with me?
Oh, with you. I like that. I'm right behind you.
About a mile.
I'm there in spirit for you, buddy.
I'll back you up till you get a bloody nose.
Okay.
Yeah, and you might have a lot of volunteers who are not here year-round.
True.
That's true.
I will certainly do whatever I can, Scott,
Sure.
because this is gonna help my business, so I mean, I think this is a great thing for me, business-wise, and other than that, I just think it's a great thing anyway.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's such big dollars, it scares.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I would feel a little bit better if that number on phase one was closer to the actual cost, you know, Ed.
Yeah.
If you have these huge numbers that look just absolutely insurmountable and it really doesn't cost that much, that is a little frustrating.
But I really think the second phase will probably cost more, because I think that's gonna be harder to do.
It is like lots of grading.
But we did the right thing by doing Ice House Point, because at least the locals get a chance to get up. They get
And
to
I've heard
walk
nothing
down.
but good things about that.
Yeah.
Except for they all wanna drive on.
Yeah.
But we can't put any barriers up till we get our money.
But the signs are up. It
Yep, they are.
It
I
says
drove,
vehicles, so
I drove up there
nobody-
and right down the closed road so I could see. That's great.
When are they gonna remove the orange fence?
You can drive through the fence now.
I know, but it's still,
It can actually come down any time now because they went through and finished up their punch list stuff on Friday. With one exception, the Cedar did really a less than admirable job and left a lot of big ruts out there and stuff, and he's got to come back and fix all his problems yet. So other than that, it pretty much is done. Other than what we'll talk about later is the drainage problems out there.
one thing after another.
Okay, well, that's my discussion for the moment, but we'll keep plugging away at it. There's these two resolutions about putting in the grants. We've actually already applied for them, but we do need to have council approval of them.
So, do you do one motion for both, or we gotta do separate?
It's a separate motion.
10:37,
I'll make it.
I'll second.
roll call?
Schrader?
Yes.
Huss?
Yes.
Steinke? Yes. Laney?
Yes.
Okay, resolution 1038,
I'll make that motion.
second? I'll second. Roll call.
Huss?
Yes.
Steinke? Yes. Schrader?
Yes.
Laney?
Yes.